Hey, Scottsdale Living. This is our latest podcast. We're back here in the studio at the Hub in Old Town Scottsdale. And today I've got Brittney Valentine with Switchen.
Yes.
Which is a newer family business. And it's mostly online, right?
Yes, right now it is.
And you guys sell all kinds of cool kitchen stuff.
A bunch. Yeah.
So you kind of came out of the healthcare field, like healthcare management. Is that right?
Yeah. Chronic care management and ultrasound.
How does that flip into kitchen?
It doesn't.
Okay.
I think it's just
it's like a passion.
Managing something.
Sure.
That's the only real similarity.
So it's your mom and your sister and you?
Yes.
Okay. And I mean, was there like a love of cooking or stuff, or did you just kind of identify this as like, hey, there's a potential here?
Well, Switchen started as a little kitchenware resale, like consignment store in Central Phoenix years ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And my mom knew the owner of the company, Krista, and she shut down the business a while back. And my mom always loved the idea.
Sure. And the name, right?
And the name. Yeah, cool. Exactly. Yeah. So she ended up purchasing the trademark from Krista, and it's kind of just sat in her back pocket for a while. She also had a healthcare company that she sold about 4 years ago. And we always loved this idea. So we just said, let's go for it. Yeah.
I love it.
And it took us about 2 years, about 2 years to build the platform.
Sure.
And so then we just went from there.
I love it. So you guys, it's not like resale stuff anymore, right? It's all new?
No. So we have our own like curated collection of like new, sustainable, non-toxic.
Sure.
But we also have the resale side as well. We source inventory from all over and do have like a resale marketplace as well that we sell on. Switchen sells on as well.
Cool. But there's no brick and mortar anymore though.
There is no brick and mortar currently. Okay. Yes.
Sounds like there's a plan maybe in the back of the head.
We're hopeful to get one. But it's finding the right space, finding, everything just waiting to fall in line.
Sure. And you guys have a big, big push on being environmentally friendly. Is that right?
Yes, that's our message.
Talk to me about like plastic versus glass a little bit. Because I mean, unfortunately, in our house, we probably rip through a lot of plastic stuff, as far as containers, leftovers, all that.
Well, just the amount of... I think it was like 100 million pots and pans end up in landfills around the...
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And Are they not recyclable, like pots and pans?
They do. Okay. But a lot of it doesn't get recycled. Sure. People just throw them in the trash. Yeah. And the resale market, I think it's expected to reach like $357 billion by 2027.
Oh my gosh.
So, my generation, my younger sister's generation, we're all coming up on that sustainable message. Sure. We're used to shopping at Plato's Closet.
Yeah.
Offer Up and Mark.
Well, that's a sister family thing too, right? That one went a little crazy, but that's a different podcast.
But so that's really our message is let's keep these pots and pans out of landfills.
Sure.
And reuse them.
So how do you guys kind of decide? I mean, obviously on the resale end, you bring in whatever is available, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, how does that work? Is it a consignment thing or?
Well, we source from different vendors of, gently used small appliances, pots and pans, and even some new pots and pans on a lot of new appliances. Sure. You can't even tell the difference other than the price. So we get it like that and we sell it because they'll just end up in landfills.
Yeah. 100%.
And we don't see it, they end up in impoverished countries.
Sure.
And so, and with the new stuff, we're also selling at very discounted prices as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So like if you go to your house, is like the whole house just covered with some kitchen stuff?
Well, we do have a warehouse.
All right. There you go. There you go.
Yes. But my house is also covered with kitchen stuff because I love it. I love everything about this business.
Sure.
Yeah.
So is it just the three of you? You have employees yet or?
We have, some additional help from the outside, but it's mostly just us three. We're, bootstrapping it, making it. Yeah.
So like you're in the warehouse packing stuff, sending it out, following up on it. So do you love it?
I absolutely love everything about this business.
So is it like full time now for the three of you?
Oh, yeah. Well, my little sister, she is in college. So she helps when she comes home, over break or the summer. Mm-hmm. But it's my mom and I full time in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's been the biggest hurdle?
Just really growing the platform, gaining that trust in people to join and resell.
Sure.
Everybody knows Poshmark, everybody knows eBay, but nobody knows Kitchen Switchen just
Sure,
yet. So
sure.
it's really, that's our biggest hurdle, is just bringing people in.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So how does that process work? Like, do you have their stuff, or are you just like the middleman to facilitate the sale?
No, it's just like eBay.
Okay.
So people come on and they can even like list or connect their eBay stores to our store. So they can choose what from their store to upload. Sure. But, they go on, they list it makes a sale, and they're able to print off a shipping label from their house.
Sure.
Ship it out, and we hold the money for like 3 days after delivery if somebody has an issue, or
sure.
And then we release the funds. So very secure for buyer and seller.
Sure. So you guys are kind of rolling as a middleman as far as the resale part of it.
It's pretty much just the same as like eBay, Etsy, Market, any other marketplace.
What a great idea. So like going into it, I would imagine, because we talked to a ton of small business owners, right? Going into it, so the platform had to be just like, that had to be a real pain in the rear, right? To figure that whole thing out. Yeah,
it's a really robust platform, because we don't just have the physical resale marketplace. Right. We also have a digital marketplace where, anybody, if you want to sell cooking classes,
cool.
People can list a cooking class and it will connect, people
to their online class or master class or whatever.
To their classes. It'll send links for them to connect. If I book a time with you at 9:45, we'll both get links to sign on and join that class at 9:45. They can sell cookbooks, recipes, meal plans, how-to guides. There's a lot of those, everything you need in the kitchen.
So who's the tech expert?
We have a developer assisting us and myself.
Okay.
So pretty much,
lot, right?
It's a lot. It's been a lot.
So did you build it from scratch?
Yes.
Wow.
It's been built from scratch.
Sure.
And that's why we launched back in September, but we have just done like a soft launch.
Sure.
Just want to test out everything. And so far, everything has worked amazingly.
Wow.
Better than I would have expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
what's been the biggest blow up so far?
Nothing really.
Wow. Oh, knock
on wood.
Right?
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's been really great. Little hiccups here and there.
Sure.
But other than that, not very much. I couldn't figure out how to print off a shipping label one day, and it was just, human error.
Yeah, totally.
Me not pressing the correct button. I'm like, oh no, everything is messed up.
Yeah.
And he's like, you hit this button instead of this one. I'm like, oh, perfect.
Throw you for a loop. Huh?
Exactly.
So what do you do with the new stuff? Is it drop shipped, or like, are you holding inventory?
We bring everything in-house. Okay. Yeah. And same with all the resale stuff. I personally inspect everything, the resale items that we sell.
Okay.
So I inspect everything and ship it out.
So walk me through it a little bit. So you've got new product, which you guys obviously buy wholesale or whatever, bring in and distribute. And then you've got the resale stuff where you act as the middleman. And then it sounds like you have resale stuff that you actually purchase and sell.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got kind of 3 tiers.
Yeah.
In addition to the digital product.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll get, gently used returns or, just stuff that overstock from different retailers. And then we bring that in. So
you're outsourcing that.
Yeah.
You're just looking for opportunities on that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you bring the stuff in, inspect it all, and then boom, boom, boom.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I used to own a business that was really heavy inventory involved, right? So how much of a pain in the rear is the inventory portion of it? Like, where is this? Where is it? Is it all barcoded? I mean, how are you guys doing it?
We do have everything barcoded, but we've definitely had some hiccups with that. I got super excited one time about a liquidation pallet that I was getting. And it came in 4 massive pallets. Not a single item was boxed.
Oh, wow.
Just the pallet
stuffed in the pallet
with cardboard boxes just taped up.
Wow.
Including glass, everything.
Wow.
So I learned my lesson on that one. But even with that, I just sorted through everything, get a label, barcode it.
Just a process,
stick
right?
it. Yeah. It's definitely been a learning process, trying to figure it all out. But
I mean, I gotta imagine the hardest part is like, once you put it on a shelf, where is it? You know what I mean?
It's all in your accounting system. And, my mom comes out of manufacturing.
Okay. So she's a little dialed in on that whole thing.
She's very dialed in. Yeah. She's very organized, very, it's got to be this way, this way, this way. So fortunately, I wasn't just winging it. I have everything
You got
with
an expert
her.
in the background of that.
She's an absolute expert in it.
So let's talk about that a little bit. How is it working with mom?
I love it. My mom is honestly my best friend. She is,
cool.
yeah. Other than my daughter, who's the best, but she, it's great.
Sure.
It has its ups and downs.
Sure.
There's
It's family, but
there's no off time.
Right.
We're talking about the business at 4
so
o'clock.
Thanksgiving dinner is you guys kind of talking about kitchen switching.
4 in the morning, and I swear that woman never sleeps.
Yeah.
I am getting emails from her at midnight.
It's like
2 a.m.
Go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have this new idea, this new idea. But she's really the brains of everything. She is very intelligent. It's been a lot of fun working with her, though.
Look at you giving mom all the props. I love it. That's cool.
Well, she, like I said, she is my best friend. She's anything good in my life happens or bad. She's the first person, that I call, and I probably talk to her way more than I should.
I love it.
But so I love working with her. It's a lot of fun.
So where did it come from, right? So I mean, you're in the healthcare field, healthcare management, and your mom has just sold her business, right? I mean, where did you guys come? Was it like over cocktails or coffee or dinner, or how did you come up with it?
Well, I moved back I lived in California and did that for a doctor's office up in California. And after my dad passed away, I moved back here. And I started working for her manufacturing company as the comptroller. And she ended up selling to a private equity group. Okay. And
that sounds like it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. And she was just, I wasn't, to be perfectly frank, I wasn't exactly happy there.
Sure.
And I didn't get to work with my mom anymore. Yeah. And she's like, let's
you stayed on board.
I stayed on after.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. For about like a year and a half or so. Okay. And she's like, well, let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can get this off the ground. So
like, where did the kitchen idea come from? I mean, did you guys have that in your head already, or how did that?
From the consignment store in Phoenix.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
So, but they were all just in Phoenix, and we were like, we want to bring this
to the world.
Yeah. We really think it's promoting that sustainability, that return to the kitchen, eco-friendliness, and that's why a lot of our products on the new side are all environmentally friendly, non-toxic, because you'd be surprised at how many pots and pans are still made with toxic chemicals.
Sure.
And so that's been a big push for us. But so that's how it all kind of came about. And so I left there, and then we started this.
Started cranking it out.
Yep. And so far it's been going great. I think I really, every day is something new. Every day it's busy, but it's good.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing a thing now with Mother's Grace, which we can talk about a little bit. So this is like your first kind of charity affiliation. Is that right?
Yes.
And it's really cool. So basically, if I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's 7 mixers that they took, 6 mixers that they took, and local artists painted or decorated them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And now they're going up for auction.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah. We love it. My mom's known Michelle at Mother's Grace, the founder of Mother's Grace, for years. And my mom's always been really big into charity. We thought, what a great way to we have an app coming out, and we thought, what a great way to get to the next step, and our app's out, and we're doing the charity event, right at the same time. Like, we want it to be like our big launch that, everything's done. We're ready to really take it to the next step, and really hopeful and these mixers turned out beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I would love one.
It's mind blowing, right?
They are. I was not expecting, I guess I couldn't really picture what it would look like as like a mixer, decorated KitchenAid mixer. But as we've been getting them back in, they are beautiful. And whoever bids on these and wins these, they're going to be very lucky.
Yeah.
And, all the proceeds are going to Mother's Grace, and Mother's Grace helps, mothers in need. And it couldn't be a better charity to start with. And we really hope this is just our first year. We really want to grow it and, maybe
off,
next year we get 200 mixers from all around the world, but just starting locally. And we're so thankful for all the artists who contributed. They've all been amazing. It's been really, really fun to do.
It's good. So it's going to be interesting, right? Because I can't really imagine anybody winning a bid on a mixer. They're not going to use it, right? I mean, that's going to be a piece of art.
They could use it because the bowl's not painted. It's just
just to mix
so they're still perfect as long as like they don't get the batter everywhere all over it.
Right?
Yeah,
What a killer idea! So where'd that one come from?
My mom.
Okay.
Probably a 3 a.m. thought.
Oh, yeah. Pop out. We're going to paint mixers.
Exactly.
That's killer.
It was something like that. I think I had a conversation with her at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, I had this great idea last night because I've really wanted to work with Michelle. And she has, and she's like, KitchenAid mixer. Everybody loves KitchenAid mixers. Let's get local artists to paint them.
Sure.
And so, one of those midnight ideas.
Love it.
Yeah.
And the bidding's live now, right?
It is live. Okay. We still have one more mixer that we're waiting on.
Okay.
But my mom's picking it up today. Cool. So we will be getting that. And then the event, I believe, is on April 24th.
Yeah. Is that the brunch? Or
yes.
Okay. That's the Mother's Grace Mother's Day brunch.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, right.
So you can also buy there, but they are live on our site currently.
Mm-hmm. And is that when you close out the bidding? Is it the Mother's Day brunch?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so people, just so everybody knows, like if you go to kitchenswitchen.com, that's where you can bid on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and last time I looked, it was like near the top, so it's pretty easy to see for sure.
Yeah, there's a tab that says Whisk Away Hunger.
Yeah. Whisk Away 2025, Whisk Away Hunger, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. So that's a really cool thing for your first kind of foray into the whole the whole world of charity donation and give back. Talk a little bit about Mother's Grace. I'm not super familiar with them. I know they help mothers in need. And is it just mostly Phoenix area? Is it kind of local?
Yeah, I believe it's mostly local. And like I said, Michelle started it and they've got tons of volunteers and they're just a really great
killer organization, resource.
Absolutely amazing for mothers, and just in general.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate to be working with them, and we really hope this, like I said, it's just the start of something big.
Sure. Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, it's such a cool idea. Like I'd love to have one of those mixers in my house. Just hanging out.
They are
pretty neat. How'd you guys find the artists?
My mom again. Okay. Yeah, she
just threw it out to the world.
Well, she carefully picked which ones that she, loved their art and everything like that. And we wanted to keep it pretty local.
Sure.
So pretty much reached out, see if they were interested. And we had a lot of people who were interested in doing it.
I love it. That's fantastic. Cool. So let's switch back to the business end a little bit. What's kind of the plan moving forward? I mean, obviously you guys are growing and that's the game plan, right? Talked a little bit about bricks and mortar. Do you see yourself like getting in let's talk about the app. That's killer. So is the app a shopping place?
Shopping and selling. Okay. So the people will be able, just like, other platform apps.
Sure.
People will be able to list their own products. People will be able to shop through it. Apps are, everybody loves an app.
Yeah.
So we have that. And we have a lot of plans, I think, going forward. Possibly having our own kitchenware.
Sure. Online. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. We thought about that. And another big one with, my mom coming out of pharmaceuticals. And my mom is a very health conscious person. We thought about a kitchen pharmacy, with
that's cool.
Some medicinal herbs, cleaners, cleaning products that are all very health conscious. Your child doesn't eat your vegetables, sprinkle this in.
Yeah.
So we have, and then we also have like a kitchen kids section where, little things for kids, painting or kitchen, everything in the kitchen for kids. Sure. That's one that I would really love to.
Yeah. To grow out some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a child. And my daughter loves everything in the kitchen.
I love it. That's cool.
She doesn't like to eat everything in the kitchen, but she loves making a mess in the kitchen.
Sure.
And it's, really, once again, bringing everything back to the kitchen, making those memories in the kitchen. Sure. And I think a lot of people are going back to the basics.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So we have that, and possibly the brick and mortar. We've looked at some places, but cooking classes and
I mean, what you could grow out of it is amazing.
Is
right?
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So we're really just at that starting point.
Sure.
And
so, I mean, one of my favorite questions when I'm talking to business owners, especially like newer businesses, is how are you managing your work-life balance?
Not well.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get it, right? So it's like a 24/7 gig.
It is. But I think we manage it pretty well. I know for myself personally, I'm a single mother.
Sure.
So my first alarm, I think, goes off at around 3:45 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And I try to get a lot of work done in the morning so that, in the afternoons, once I pick my daughter up from school, I can focus on her.
Sure.
But there are definitely a lot of nights, a lot of weekend work, a lot of, but I think we manage it pretty well.
Sure.
All I know is I'm trying to build something so that
for the family, for generational.
Yeah, exactly. And and I just, for my daughter in the future, and the environment and, what kind of world right now is she growing up in? And, yeah. And
it's crazy to look at.
It is. Yeah. And so, putting that positivity out there, that, encouraging that.
So what would you say is the part that you least look forward to in the business? What's the end of the business that some people will say, the books or the marketing or this or that.
This.
Oh, the marketing aspect of it, the public relations, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I'm a huge introvert.
So you got kind of thrown out in the middle of the podcast today, right?
But I know it comes with the business.
Sure.
So I'm trying to get more comfortable with public speaking, but it's definitely, I've never been one of those people that's in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I am the person behind the camera. I've got, 45,000 pictures on my phone. Sure. Maybe like 1,000 of those have me in them.
Yeah,
I love being behind the camera.
Right.
So it's definitely a learning process. But, every time it gets a little bit easier.
Absolutely.
I've had my little hiccups with it. But other than that, I truly enjoy everything about this business. You
got a passion for it. You know what? So that comes through like in this venue, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that's killer for you. You're going to do great at that.
And I always love seeing, what's that next find.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm huge on that. I grew up, I love thrifting.
Sure.
So, this is the perfect business for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't get to, thrift the little things as much.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for bigger lots, but I definitely love trying to find something locally if I just stop in at a little store. Yeah.
Totally.
Where's my next find? And I've had some pretty good ones.
Oh, so give us an example. What's a cool one?
I found a copper pan at Goodwill a while back. It's probably my favorite one so far. And I started.
Did you sell it or did you keep it?
I sold it.
Okay.
But I couldn't identify it, and I didn't know a lot about copper.
Sure.
And it was a Mafter Bourget. It was like a $600 pan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's killer.
Got for $4.95.
Yeah. There's some deals over there at Goodwill, right?
Oh, yeah.
So how did it sell? I mean, what'd you get out of that?
I think I got $3.25 or something
That's
like
killer.
that.
What a deal.
And it was in amazing condition.
Sure.
I cleaned it up.
Yeah.
It was pretty grungy before. Sure. But see, in that aspect too, I also love cleaning things and seeing how they turn out.
I mean, is it hard sometimes to not keep everything?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet, right? That would be the hardest part for me, is because I would want to use it. I'd want to bring that pan into my kitchen. It's like, I
used it once.
Did you? There you go.
And then I cleaned it again. And then
yeah, totally.
But I've got enough in my house. I can't house anymore. And the warehouse is already
it's busted at the seams, huh?
Yep, we've got so much stuff.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just love finding that next one, and everything that we get in from the retailers and stuff like that. It's always amazing to see how much it goes for.
Sure.
Versus that's our whole thing on the site too, is how much of a discount you can get it on.
Right.
And people are just getting rid of.
Yeah, they're just cleaning the house, right? Yeah,
and buying brand new stuff.
One person's treasure, one person's trash.
Oh yeah, deal, right? Absolutely.
It's amazing.
And there's a lot of trash out there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I love that aspect to your business too, where you guys are really the environmentally friendly part of it and trying to make an impact. That's really, really cool.
Well, and that's, what we're encouraging with the resale marketplace.
Sure.
Like, don't just throw out your old pan.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in my, I know my generation and everybody my age, we want that nice Le Creuset pot, but we don't want to spend $500 on it.
True. Yeah.
And, I just was telling my mom the other day, we went and I looked at a Goodwill and I found a 13-quart Le Creuset, like roasting big baking dish for $4.95. They don't even make them anymore.
Wow.
And I'm just like, what people get rid of is
gone. Yeah.
Yep. Taking that one.
Yeah. Snapped
Definitely.
it up. I love it.
Oh, I did. I'll probably keep that one.
Sure.
I love it. But just don't get rid of your stuff. And I know that a lot of the retailers too, they'll just toss things that they don't.
It's not selling, it's out, right?
Yeah. And or if somebody returns it because it's got a chip on it or, and I just sold a cast iron pan that had a huge crack on it. And the person said that they like to do DIY project or do it
yourself stuff.
Yeah.
So they're going to fix it.
They created stuff with it. And I'm like, that's a great idea. Sold it for cheaper, but it's keeping it.
Yeah. Keeping it in circulation, right? Out of the landfill. I love it.
So
cool. That's fantastic. So this is Kitchen Switchen with Brittney Valentine. And let's hit it real quick again. Mother's Grace for Hunger, right? Whisk Away Hunger 2025. So if you go to kitchenswitchen.com, you can bid on the different mixers. And then coming up on Mother's Day brunch, you can buy tickets to that too, I think, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so you can buy tickets to that as well. So definitely check out kitchenswitchen.com and then Mother's Grace, the charity here in the Phoenix area. And it's fabulous having you on here.
Yeah,
really
thank you
appreciate
for having
it.
us on.
Yeah. Anything that you want to leave us with or share?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Rock and roll. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet.